Hey, my village. This is your Coach Mo coming to you live today to talk about control. For those of you who are new, my name is Monique Atkins. I go by Coach Mo. Hold on, my son want to say hi to you guys before I start.
Hi.
This is my little Brad Dacian. He just wanted to say hi. All right, bye. He's like, can I say hi when you go live? So I told him he can come on and say hi.
Also, this video is sponsored by Push Pop.
Shut up. He's so silly. I gotta excuse him. But today's video is about control. And those who don't know me, my name is Coach Mo. I go by Coach Mo. My name is Monique. I am a family and parenting life coach. I coach parents to co-parent with success to be able to coexist in their child's life. I also help single mothers, single fathers, married couples, blended bonus parents. I don't call them step parents. Help them be able to blend families as well and deal with child behavioral issues. Today's topic is control, because some parents can't co-parent due to one person trying to either control the other person by using the child as a pawn, or they just want all the control to be able to make the rules, and if the person don't do what they say or what they want, then basically they punish them by not letting them see the child, different things like that. And this topic is really important. I talk to a lot of males, a lot of fathers, because believe it or not, more men reach out for my service than women, because they're more open and honest to where they went wrong in a situation, and women don't like to shine the light on themselves and admit that either they're haven't been a good parent or been bitter and stuff like that. So men come to that conclusion a little faster than women, what I noticed being in this business. But I talked to a few guys, and they all say that they wasn't there because of the other parent, or they'll say like, oh, I'll wait till the child get bigger and then be involved in their life, because they didn't want to deal with the mother. And I felt that is really, really strange, because it don't affect the other person. It just really affects the child. So I always talk to guys and I tell them, like, you saying basically, I give up. I'll just wait till my child is older and they can make the decision if they want to have a relationship with me or not. That's not fair. It's not fair for the child, especially when it's a younger child. It's like, how long do you wait to be a parent? So it's like one of those things where I don't agree with people doing that. So I came up with a few notes in regards to why that happens and why they lose control in the situation. Because I do help a lot of fathers get back in control where they do have a voice in regards to parenting. The other parent usually try to help, but if the mother is still bitter, resentful, things like that, sometimes it's hard to get in and be able to ask for your child or things like that without getting a court involved. And that's mainly what I do. I don't like people going to court because it's not fair for both parents, especially men. They don't get any justice in the court. So I eliminate courts making decisions for you. And that's part of what I do with parents. I don't like them to have to go to family court, and because they can't be adult enough to make the decisions and build a plan on their own, that a judge have to do it for them and make that decision. Sometimes the other parent is so hurt and damaged that they push the other parent away. They push the father away. They choose to be a single mother. I know, me being a single mom, I know sometimes you'd be like, well, I'm doing it because he's not stepping up. But then you have to realize, are you giving him the space to? Because a lot of times they do want to be a parent. They do love their child, but you are what's blocking that connection and that happening. Sometimes women make excuses for their behavior. Well, I was mad at the time, or he had another girlfriend. I didn't want my child to be around a girlfriend. Like, that is not an excuse for your child not to see their father. If they don't want you, you can't stop them from being with who they want to be with. Like, that's so unfair. And I see women doing it all the time, but you'll have 1,000 men in your child life. And your child will see you getting beat, they see you being mistreated, disrespected, but you don't want them to be in their dad life when he probably have the healthier household in the first place. I totally don't agree with women doing that. It's so unfair. You can't choose and be in control of everything. I see my brother go through it. I see baby mamas be like, oh, you can come see the baby. No, I'm not coming to see the baby. I'm coming to get my child. And they have the right to. You can go pick your child up and leave. If she called the police, they're going to be like, well, he the father, so it's not considered kidnapping unless you have a court order. I tell people, you better know your rights. If you don't have a court order, you can go pick up your child and leave, and they cannot say anything about it. They can call the police. They can do whatever they want. But if there's no jurisdiction with the court against your child, that's why it's always good not to have a court order. It's not considered kidnapping because there's no law or no binding contract saying you cannot take your child or you only can have your child certain days. But I always educate people on that. Like, you want to see your child, and she say you can't see your child, and you can go get them. And they have no say-so. But people let people be in control and control them. Be like, no, you can come visit your daughter or your son, but you got to stay here with them. Like, no, you don't have to. And a lot of people never own up to their role that they play in a situation. It's like the child is who should be in mind first. You should always put the child first and think of the child first. Stop being selfish. A lot of people are really, really selfish. There's kids that wish they had parents out there, and then we got idiots being ignorant with drama, fighting about who gonna get the child. Like, people want a parent. Some people don't even have a parent. They're in the foster system. There's kids that want a household, and you arguing about who can and cannot get your child. No. Or they feel like they're not doing anything wrong. I have noticed that with women. I used to be that way, where I used to be like pointing the finger, pointing the blame. It's not about solving the blame. It's about solving the actual problem. If co-parenting is the problem, why do you want to be a single parent? That's not nothing to be glorified about. Like, it's hard. You need a break too. Why not let the child go with the other parent so you can get a break, or let that parent split some cost or whatever? You don't predict or dictate what they can and cannot do, because that will push the other parent away. I see single fathers out there. A few of my friends are single fathers. They do go above and beyond for their kid, and they have the worst. It's always the good men that have the worst baby mamas, and it's always the good women that got the worst baby daddies. I noticed that a lot. And nobody's the victim but the child. So these people that being a baby mama or baby daddy, I don't use those terms with my son dad, but you're not a victim. The only person that can play the victim in a situation is the child, because that's the person losing. If you're co-parenting, they're winning because they get the best of both worlds. They get to spend time with both parents, and they get to learn different things from each parent. More times than not, the other parent back off because of you. So if you're one of those people that want to dictate when and where they can see your child, who your child can be around, and all that stuff, more times than not, the reason why you're a single parent is because you're that way. Your attitude towards the situation. You make it almost impossible for them to be there, and that's not good, because your child is watching this. This is what you're instilling in your child. They're going to think that it's okay for someone to be like that. You're instilling bitterness in them, negativity, drama. They should not be in that toxic situation or feel like daddy not around because of them, because they'll blame themselves. A lot of kids do that. Daddy don't love me. No, he just don't love your mom, and your mom is making it hard for him to be there to love you. They don't want to have to go through you to see their child, which shouldn't have to be. With all the technology right now, like my son, he had an iPhone. If his dad didn't want to call me, you can FaceTime your son. I'll give him the computer, the iPad, or whatever. You can FaceTime him. You don't have to go through me to communicate, even though we didn't really have that problem. But I always let him have access. Even to this day, I don't get no financial help. My son is about to be 10 years old. I don't get no help with my son, but I don't stop him from being able to spend time with his dad and see his dad. He'll buy stuff whenever he wants. I don't dictate to him what you need to buy, what your child need. He know what he need. And I'm not one of those people who be like, oh, well, because I'm not getting a check, I'm not going to let him see his child. No, because it don't have nothing to do with finances. I want my child to be physically, mentally, and emotionally healthy. And he's not going to see us ever argue or have any drama and stuff like that, because I didn't grow up like that. That's not me. I'm not about that life. I save my energy for more important things. Hey, Shayna. But, yeah, you don't have to always be in control. Sometimes control will exhaust you. It is not a good feeling when you're trying to put too much energy in being negative and the boss and all that stuff. It's not worth it. And I always tell mothers that, I tell fathers that, because I never understood like why or how a mother can give the father the child and not be there, be involved in the child's life. After you go through all that during pregnancy, labor and stuff, it's like unbelievable. And I don't understand. But stop making excuses for your crazy behavior. Stop pushing the other parent away. Let the other parent be involved. If they're trying, like, give them some credit for trying. Just because they're not doing it the way you want them to do it. Hey, Antonice. Just because they're not parenting the way you want them to parent don't mean that they can't be a good parent. Because some people, you got to start from where they're at. It takes time for them to learn, and when they're more consistent, they will catch on and they will start being able to be the parent that they can potentially be. But it start off with baby steps. Just be patient. You need a lot of patience when it comes with co-parenting. Stop being the victim. You're not a perfect parent. So obviously when you're not being willing to co-parent, you're not a perfect parent, because a real one would step up and do what they got to do to make their child happy, not themselves. Own up to the role you play in a situation. You can't bash the other parent for being a dog and all this stuff, because it says something about your character for picking that person and laying up with them unprotected and having a baby. So I always tell people, you picked them. So what does that say about you? So you need to get your stuff together so you can quit attracting those type of people and having a baby with them. So some people don't like to hear that, but it is what it is. And don't try to force a guy to go through you to communicate with their child. Get your child a cell phone and tell the guy he got to pay for the cell phone bill so that he can communicate with their child and not have to deal with you. I've done that before. Like, oh, if you pay part of the cell phone bill, he'll have his own cell phone. You can call him all day long. You can text him, whatever, send pictures, text, all that. My son do that. He texts with his siblings. He group chat with his dad. He FaceTime his dad. He see him every time his dad call. Sometimes he'll pick him up from school and I don't even know. He'd be like, oh, I got him. He'll come home tonight. I'll be like, all right, that's free time for me. I don't mind. I don't mind a break. But just keep that in mind when you think of co-parenting and being able to coexist in your child life. It's healthy for your child, but it's not healthy for you to be bitter and resentful forever and not heal and not go through the steps you need to go through to be able to be mentally, physically, and emotionally healthy yourself. Because you can't model what you want your child to be if you're not right. So be a role model. Model so that it won't be a generational curse. I know a lot of people they do it because that's what they're used to. That's how they grew up. They grew up from a single parent. Even though I had a single mom, my mom was a single mom, my dad was always there. He always lived within 4 blocks from us. So I used to be able to walk to his house any day. I seen him all the time. I talked to him all the time. He'll come visit. We went with him for the weekends. I always went with my bonus brothers. I don't even call them my bonus brothers. They're my brothers. So they're not my step brothers. I actually have 6 brothers if I include my dad's wife's sons. But me and my sister were the oldest and the only girls. And it's like we never had that dysfunction. I never seen my parents argue. They didn't fight or anything. It wasn't a perfect situation, but they knew how to co-parent, and that's what my mom did teach me, how to be there. And like you don't have to force yourself to be in a relationship with a person, but you can definitely raise a child with them. So I learned that with my family, and then most of all my aunties and uncles were all married 20 plus years. So I seen them have a 2-parent home, and my uncles modeled that father figure for me as well, because I was with them all the time. And me and my cousins are all really, really close. So I've had bonus moms and everything, and even my brother's moms, I call them mom. I used to hang out with them, talk to them and stuff like that. Even as an adult, we still all communicate in one big happy family, and that's why I can do that with my son and his dad and his dad kids and the other baby moms. There's 3 other baby mamas. I'm the 3rd. There's 4, and I'm able to do that because we all understand that it's not about us, it's about the kids, and that's what's important in the situation. And we don't want them to have to break the cycle, and the cycle continue and deal with dysfunction and stressful situation and stressful environment, because that's not healthy for kids to grow up in. But thank you guys for tuning in. I'm gonna go work out a little bit on my lunch break. I gotta get out the house. Working from home is boring sometimes, and it's 2 years that I've been home, and I am ready to get out the house for today. So I'm gonna work out for the next 45 minutes. But thank you guys for tuning in. Tomorrow I'm off, so I'll probably go live earlier, and the talk is going to be about communication and teaching people how to communicate. So I look forward to talking to you guys about that. Share this video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. You see this little brat in my background?
Bye.
No problem, Coach. You can always catch the replay. Y'all come in on the replay, do #replay. Oh, next week, I'll have an announcement tomorrow. I'll announce it tomorrow for the challenge that I'm going to do next week for you guys. Since it's getting ready to be the holiday break, we need some stuff for you guys to do with family. So I'm going to do something for you guys.
Bye,
and I'll be announcing. This little boy is all in my background. And I'll be announcing the 2 winners of the free one-on-one coaching for the gift certificate. I have one in mind. I have to look at all my stuff to see who's the second person who's always engaging and come live with me and share the videos. I will have a treat for you. I do believe in giving back. And it's $125 value. So you're going to get some jewels dropped on you in that 1 hour. So I want you to come with a question, come ready. And we can get the work done. But I do have 2 people that I'm picking for that gift certificate. But thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope to see you tomorrow. And I'll go live. I'm not sure what time, because I want to sleep in for a day finally. But here go this silly kid. He don't let me sleep in, you guys. He wake me up at 5 in the morning every day when I don't work until nighttime. So yeah, I haven't got much sleep with him.
Days I don't.
You hear him talking? And he want to do a live soon. We're going to probably do a live Monday. He want to talk about bullying. So we're working on that.
Experience of it, 'cause I kept getting bullied at our work.
But I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks for tuning in. Have a nice night.